Nemean Lion, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. This lion shows up as one of the legendary animals you'll need to travel across Greece to kill. Though it's far from the hardest enemy to defeat in Odyssey, it's notable because of the legend it's based on. In Greek myth, the Nemean lion is a beast with impenetrable fur that couldn't be killed by a mortal. The demigod Heracles was bid to kill the lion as one of his 12 labors. Heracles managed to defeat it by crushing it with his bare hands, owing to his incredible strength. Luckily, swords and bows work just fine to kill the lion when you encounter it in Odyssey, roaming the sinkholes of Heracles. Sphinx, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Another challenger. I hope you're more resilient than the last one.
The Sphinx is a powerful creature with the face of a human, body of a lion, and wings of a bird. In mythology, the Sphinx is most famous for presenting the Greek tragic hero Oedipus with a difficult riddle. By solving the riddle, and thereby defeating the Sphinx, Oedipus becomes the king of Thebes and inadvertently fulfills a dangerous prophecy. In Odyssey, the Sphinx is one of the ancient Isu creatures you need to defeat to unlock the true ending of the game. And true to the story, you'll have to solve some riddles. The riddles, thankfully, aren't as difficult as the one Oedipus had to decipher, but the Sphinx is a threatening presence nonetheless.
Outwit our oppressors. Hide our truth within lies.
Sobec, Assassin's Creed Origins. A man with the head of a crocodile, Sobec is an ancient Egyptian god associated with the Nile and fertility. He was often invoked in rituals to protect people from the Nile's many dangers, like its crocodiles and flooding. You'll come face to face with Sobec himself in one of AC Origins' Trials of the Gods missions, the second one after doing battle with Anubis. Accordingly, Sobec is found in the far northeast of the map, where the mouth of the Nile becomes swampland and is one of the most difficult bosses in the game. Outside of the boss fight, you'll also encounter a sacred white crocodile called Petsuchos during the main quest, which is supposedly the embodiment of Sobec in the mortal world.
Sobec is sick!
Petsuchos is angry. The image of Sobec shows the god's will. What will we do?
Cerberus, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. A three-headed hellhound, Cerberus is Hades' pet dog responsible for guarding the gates of the underworld. Cerberus stops anybody from entering or leaving who doesn't have permission from Hades himself. He shows up in Odyssey's Fate of Atlantis DLC as a formidable foe you need to defeat, boasting an absolutely insane amount of HP. Even if you know exactly what you're doing in the battle, the leaping, biting, lava-spitting dog will take a long time to beat. Like the Nemean lion, Cerberus was also defeated by Heracles in ancient Greek legend, and it takes another human/Isu hybrid to put him down and out of his misery.
Protect the unseen that others wish they saw.
Apophis, Assassin's Creed Origins. Though not actually named in the game, undoubtedly this is the deity the large snake Bayek fights is supposed to be. Apophis, alternately known as Apep, is an ancient deity of chaos and Ra's mortal enemy. Ra is the god of the sun and one of the Egyptian pantheon's most powerful figures. The legend goes that every night, Ra and Apophis do battle, and if Ra wins, the sun will rise again. That's why it's Ra's bow of light that Bayek needs to use to defeat the giant snake when it appears during the lizard's mass quest. It's explained in-game as being a hallucination caused by Bayek undergoing a strange ritual. Cyclops, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
And raise me to the heavens!
As a formidable monster appearing throughout mythology, it's not surprising you'll fight multiple Cyclops during your time playing Odyssey. After all, Odyssey's run-in with the shepherd Cyclops Polyphemus is one of the most famous parts of Homer's Odyssey. You don't encounter Polyphemus in the game. Well, not exactly, but you will have to fight 3 other one-eyed beasts: Steropus, Argus, and Brontis. Of them all, Argus is the hardest thanks to his damaging and wide-ranging fire attacks. You have to play smart to beat him and avoid taking damage over time. But aside from a few modifiers like that, all three are fought in a generally similar way, with Brontis having the smallest and trickiest arena.
The bigger they are, the more I have to stab them.
Fenrir, Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
And what do they have to be afraid of? Old friend.
Fans of Norse mythology will already be intimately familiar with Fenrir, one of Loki's children and a major part of the Ragnarok prophecy. Different pieces of extant Nordic sagas disagree slightly on what role Fenrir plays in the Doomsday prophecy, but in Valhalla, we see the wolf before he is bound by a mythical chain by the gods Havi and Tyr, including the dramatic moment when Tyr's hand is bitten off by the wolf. Fenrir is defeated by Havi and remains bound until, presumably, breaking free to attack Odin at the end of the world. And it's made clear afterward that despite the gods trying to prevent Ragnarok, their actions will only ensure that it eventually happens.
Do not think your kindness has made you a new friend, Lord of Imbeciles. I will kill you, all of you, gorging on Aesir flesh.
Minotaur, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. The famous Minotaur was created by a copulation between the wife of King Minos of Crete and a white bull sent as a gift to Minos by Poseidon to be slaughtered. Minos went against Poseidon's wishes, and Poseidon orchestrated the affair, and a terrible beast with the body of a man and the head of a bull was born. Later, Minos enlisted the genius Daedalus to build an elaborate labyrinth to keep the Minotaur contained. That's where you encounter the creature in Odyssey, explained as being a grotesque Isu experiment. After making your way through the labyrinth following a golden trail presumably left by Theseus, the hero who slew the Minotaur in the myth, you'll go head-to-head against the beast, coming away with his famous axe.
Can't believe I killed the Minotaur. Mother would be so proud.
Steinnbjorn, Assassin's Creed Valhalla. This beast is the final legendary animal you'll fight during your travels, encountered while exploring Asgard in the realm of Jotunheim. This region is best known as the home of Norse mythology's giants, and Steinbjorn is certainly giant if nothing else. He's an enormous ice-covered polar bear and one of Valhalla's toughest bosses. He's got a power level of 400 and appears in a snowy arena. Anybody with any fire runes or other fire damage modifiers will have an advantage here, as Steinbjorn is weak to fire, but it's still recommended that you gather some of the game's most powerful weapons, like King Arthur's legendary sword Excalibur, before you face him. Medusa, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yeah? It's me, Prince.
Easily the hardest boss in Odyssey's base game, Medusa is a frightening monster and one of the last Isu relics you'll fight. In Greek myth, Medusa is one of 3 Gorgon sisters, creatures with snakes for hair that will turn anybody who looks at them to stone. She's defeated by the Greek hero Perseus with some help from the gods, who grant him weapons and equipment that enable him to kill her for good, including Hermes' famous winged sandals and a shield from Athena. You don't need trickery like this to defeat her in-game, however, just some powerful equipment and lots of patience to learn her patterns and dodge her petrifying attacks.
He must have picked up the artifact and transformed into that creature. I wonder how many people have become the raving dread over the centuries.
Check out these other great clips from MojoPlays, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos.